Welcome to the New York Weightlifting Podcast. I'm James McDermott, joined by Sara Soto. We're back. We survived the state championships. We survived many, many things. It's a miracle we're both here right now, I think, with everything that's gone on in the last couple of months in the weightlifting world. Sara, how are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. How about you?
I'm finally recovered. Finally recovered. There's still states work to be done. Yesterday on my floor here, I had all the wires and HDMI cords and electronic stuff all over the floor to figure out, does this charger go to this router? This is indeed what it goes to. Looking it up on Amazon. All right, does it show a picture of the charger? No, of course it doesn't. So just plugging it into the wall. That way I could rebox everything, because after states, all of that stuff just went in boxes, and it's like, we got to get out of here. So you're just throwing it everywhere. I would like to label it all somehow. Like, all right, router, it has a red dot, and its charger has a red dot, and that's how I know they go together. Like, that's gonna happen.
Yeah. I have like little plastic things that I bought that are like cable organizers, and like I have one on each end, and I'm like, this is the one for the Marshall computer. This is the one for the time, the clock, whatever. But so highly recommend it. But that is absolutely the right idea.
That needs to happen like right away. I have all the electronics here because I'm like, I can't just put it into storage like this in just a spider's web of wires, because then that's just going to create problems later. I try to do things, Sara, where it's like, all right, current James right now will do it, so future James doesn't have to suffer. Because if I don't do it now and get it done, that means next August, when future James gets it and he's already busy with other things, be like, oh crap, I gotta figure out all these wires again and what's broken, so we'll just do it now when there's time.
And just to add on to that, Mike Choi and I were having this conversation about, because he just helped out with another meet, and they also have a storage unit in the DC area for all of their WSO equipment that they have. And he was in the storage like way after hours, after all the hours had left. He was in there organizing, and it was late, and he was so excited because he had a water bottle that he had left in there from the previous meet, and he's like, I did that for myself because I know I was going to need hydration. And he's like, past Mike is so smart. And I'm like, that's a really good idea. He's like, just don't do a plastic bottle. It's got to be something else so that it's not like gross plastic water.
Yeah, so. Definitely. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Like, hey, you're tired at night, you want to go to bed right now, but just make your lunch for work tomorrow. Just do it right now. Spend the 5-10 minutes to do it, because you're not going to want to do it in the morning. You're going to hit the snooze button. You're going to be flying all around the kitchen, and then you're going to not make your sandwich, and then you're going to have to buy something. Like, just do it now. Just always do it in the present for the future you. Because every time I don't do that, like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, you did this. Like, this is your fault. Like, it's not my fault. It's your fault. You did this to me.
Yeah.
So we're both recovering. It's funny how there's still stuff to do, paperwork, putting together electronics. It's like an event like that just doesn't actually like fully get done until all of that little stuff is out of the way. Instagram posts, everything. So yes, some announcements. The general membership meeting for the New York WSO is coming up here on November 17th, which is a Sunday. It'll be on Zoom at 7 p.m. In the newsletter that's going to go out on November 1st, it'll have the login information for that. And we'll also post a reminder getting closer to that event. Pretty much, I'm going to make a PowerPoint presentation on how everything has gone on since April's general membership meeting to now, and also talk about an overview of the year, the goals we had as an organization, what we accomplished, what we didn't, and take any questions as well on all the stuff that we're doing. There'll be, of course, a lot of state championships information in that we'll go over as well. So highly recommend people, put it in your calendar. Sunday, November 17th at 7 p.m. is the general membership meeting. And it'll be live streamed here. So the link that I'll put out, actually, I you know what, Sara, I got to figure that out. See, if I do this StreamYard, what we're on right now, then I don't think people will be able to come off of mute and ask questions.
Oh.
They could type in the comments, But if we're on Zoom, then we're all just kind of on the Zoom call together, and I can unmute people, which means it won't be a live event. It'll be pre-recorded, and I'll upload it to YouTube after the fact. That's how we've been doing it. I don't know. I got to figure out what's best for the general membership meeting. This is a problem for future James.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some options. We'll figure it out. Also in the news, the USA Weightlifting Board of Directors is having an election. Sarah, you want to remind us what's going on with that and what people should do?
Sure. So ballots went out about, I think it's pretty close to 4 p.m. Eastern time on Friday, the October 18th. And the ballots polls will remain open until 4 p.m. on this coming Friday, which is the 25th. And then unsure if that's like a thing that just gets, automatically sent out. I don't know if USA Weightlifting will send out results that night. We might be waiting until Monday morning. Who knows? But yeah. But yeah, that's also if you maybe check junk folders. If you still can't find a ballot, you should reach out to USA Weightlifting at usaw@usaweightlifting.org and let them know you did not get a ballot. And just as a quick reminder, every member that is in good standing, which means you have a current membership, you get to vote on the at-large director. And WSO, do WSO presidents, or is it just club presidents? I think WSO presidents are eligible to run for grassroots, but only club presidents can actually vote for that position. So that's it's probably our smallest pool of all of the constituents that we have, and constituent directors. And then the last position is the coach and technical director. And only national coaches or national referees and above can vote for that. So yeah, so those are the ballots. James, I know you are very special, and you get all three.
Yep. I got all three. I got them today.
Yeah, awesome.
You got two.
But yeah, I mean, read those bios of all of the people that were in the original email, and I would just check everything out. Do your research, do your due diligence. Don't just make it a popularity contest and just vote for somebody because it's the only name you recognize. Maybe somebody you haven't met yet that has some pretty good ideas and some good vision in their bio that interests you, and you would like to help support that person. So check it out.
Yeah, I was in the unique situation of not receiving a ballot on Friday. For some reason, I can't get them to my Yahoo account. So I sent USAW an email, and they sent it to my Google account, and then I got all three ballots. So if you're listening, just like Sarah said, depending on who you are and what your credentials are, you're going to get anywhere from 1 to 3 ballots. And then I don't know if this means anything. If you're a club president, you get to vote in the grassroots director election. But your club has to be active, right? So if maybe you're like you haven't re-upped your club status, does that have anything to do with it?
I believe so. I think it's just, you have to, they always say are in good standing. So it's I think that your credentials, whatever they may be, and apply to all of those positions, has to be active. You have to have your background check all done for if you're a club coach, all that fun stuff, So yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that makes sense. So if someone's confused on hey, I should have gotten 2 ballots. Well, it's okay, we're always Albany CrossFit Barbell Club, but if I don't have our paperwork updated, I'm going to be excluded from that part of the election. I'm just going to get only the member, one, the at-large director ballot. So yeah, double check your credentials, make sure everything's up to date. This coming Friday, the 25th, is the cutoff, and email USAW at their inbox if you don't have a ballot, and make sure it's .org, not .com for that email address that you put in. I do that all the time, and I'm like, why hasn't everyone got back to me? So I typed in .com. Awesome. So that's going. Oh, and I will say, looking at the ballots, because I voted today, you can click view PDF next to everyone's name and read their bio. Yeah. So they sent it out in a mass email twice, within the last 2 weeks. But now, like actually at the polls, you can kind of isolate it. Like, all right, here's the 3 people, 4 people. Just take an extra second or two to skim through those and make sure you're voting for the person you intended to vote on, because maybe you're forgetting someone's name or something like that. Some people have a very similar name, and you may click the wrong thing. I mean,
Yeah.
election issues happen on the grander scale, so they're going to happen on our little weightlifting scale too. So just double check you got everything right. And when you click next, it'll just isolate it. Like it'll say Sarasota. So read the name, read what's on the screen, and before you click next, because when I clicked view PDF, it auto highlighted the person I was viewing the PDF. So maybe if Sarah's listed number 1 and I go on there, I'm like, oh, I'm voting for Sarah. I click Sarah's little checkbox. But I'm like, well, let me read about Steve. And I click to read Steve. When I click off of that, Election Buddy has selected Steve as my vote. So if I'm still thinking I selected Sarah and I click next, I'm going to vote for Steve accidentally. So double check everything. When you click the view more information and read the bios, it's going to select that person as the person you're voting for. I noticed that today.
Oh, interesting. I mean, it does give you like a confirmation page. Like it then shows you like this person and this is your choice, and then you click submit one more time before you send it.
Yep.
But that's interesting.
Oh yeah, yep. Also, some USAW related news. American Open Finals, the qualification period is coming up on November 7th. Am I correct on that? Right? No.
Yeah, that's when it ends. Yep.
Is that late? That's late registration. Are we in late registration or still early? Or I mean regular?
We are.
That is. That's a Thursday, by the way. Thursday, November 7th. We'll have a meeting.
Yeah. So regular registration closes on November 7th at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So, okay. Yeah. So in theory, you qualify that morning, and as long as you get it in before 4 p.m. our time, that like your registration, you will still pay the regular registration deadline. But anything after that, yeah, you're gonna be paying a lot of money.
Yeah. Yep. So make sure you get that in. Maybe you do a meet the weekend of the 2nd and 3rd of November, because really you only have 2 more weekends to get a meet in, unless you're going to do like some sort of online qualifier. Are they still? They're still doing that, right? Did you
yes.
Just did one?
So I just did one on Saturday. They are only doing the online qualifiers. They're still doing them, but they're doing them. They're not every month like they used to be. They are, I believe, they're quarterly. They're holding them. Ideally, I think that office would like to get rid of them because it's just kind of like extra work, because of course our very limited staff members are also the same ones who have to go through and sort through, all of the weigh-in information and get, and the videos that get uploaded, and then you got to get the gist to look at the videos and everything. But it's a very accessible way, and plus there's some people who need the national university qualifiers, and those online qualifiers count as national university qualifiers. So maybe you live someplace and you don't have the ability to get to your WSO meet, or the timing right. So it made sense to keep those online qualifiers, but like a little more minimally. I mean, it was cheap. It was $25, because now they don't send medals out like they used to, when I think they were $35 at that point. But yeah, $25. And I mean, it was great. It was great because I got to stay in at home in my apartment and eat some food on my way to the gym. And then by the time I got to the gym, it was I was like, ready to go. And then I just hit the platform, hit my qualifying total that I needed for Masters Nationals. And yeah, that was it. Done. Super easy.
Awesome. And you qualified, right?
Yes.
Oh, congrats.
I was a little nervous. Thank you. It's been a very stressful lifetime, and I mean, I didn't know this until somewhat recently, but how much life stress can affect your training, and it has been hitting me very, very hard the past, I'd say, month and a half. So I was pretty happy to just the bare minimum, pretty much, and then be with it. And then Kurt and I were just like, okay, good, done, let's go.
Yep. You got checked off the list, and now you can chill a little bit. It's not till April, all right? Masters Nationals, April 5th. That weekend, or that stretch of days. Very cool. Congrats. And yes, if you're looking to do the AO finals, November 7th is the cutoff for regular registration. And then I'm assuming all throughout, November for a few weeks, there'll be the late registration, which hopefully no one has to do
Yeah.
that. Very,
It
very
says
expensive.
that ends November 21st.
Got it. Okay. So
Is the
14
end of
days after
late
that. And
registration.
they also sent out an email over the weekend, or maybe it was Friday, where if you are a medalist at any of the AOs, the AO series, whether that's bronze, silver, or gold, you qualify to go to the AO finals. So I think that's a new thing because for some reason in my head I thought it was you had to win, you had to be the gold medalist to go to the AO finals or get that invite. And I think even at one point you had to like win all three or something like that. But now I guess you can just medal at one and you get fast tracked all the way to the finals. So
It's
you
awesome.
don't even have to hit the qualifying total. You just got a medal, which I guess, it makes sense to take the medalists. Those are the people competing at the top of the field in every weight class. So you may be at the top edge of that competition and not hit the qualifying total, but you're still a good competitor. Might as well invite those people. So very, very cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
So double check your results. Double check your results. They sent out a PDF in that email and they highlighted the results. So if your name was highlighted in yellow, you have an invite. And I believe too, they're going to honor the early bird registration fee. I thought I read that in the email. Don't quote me. Read the
Oh,
email. But that makes sense because again, I don't think this was very clear after AO1. So, of course, if you didn't think you were going and now they're saying, oh, you qualify, but now you have to pay regular, but you would have done the early registration, it makes sense to kind of give you a break on that. So, I think there's instructions where
yeah,
you should just email USAW, say, hey, it looks like I qualified from the Arnold. What can you do for me? How do I register with that early bird fee? And if I'm
yeah,
making this up
yeah.
in my mind, you should ask anyways, because why not? My rationale on why they should do that makes sense. So if I'm just imagining that, I did read the email after I just woke up. I was like all blurry eyed, and I was looking for oh, Miguel qualified, awesome, and then I thought I read something about that. So let's
I'm
see.
happy to hear that. That was a good find.
I think that's all the general news, right? General membership meeting Sunday, November 17th at 7 p.m. Probably on Zoom. Then we have the election going on until this Friday, the 25th. Check your emails, check your spam, email USAW if you didn't get at least one ballot, because you should have at least one ballot. And depending on who you are, you could have up to three. And then the AO finals, we have November 7th, which is a Thursday, is the cutoff of regular registration. And then late registration ends 2 weeks after that on the 21st. So cool.
Oh, do you want to say anything about scholarships? Because I've been getting some questions about, what's going on there.
Yes.
Or do you want to save that for the general membership meeting?
No. We
I don't
can
want
do
to
that
steal your
now. So
thunder.
I don't know what. Maybe you can fill me in on what type of questions are coming in. But we do plan on doing the coaching scholarship again in conjunction with USA Weightlifting, as long as they're planning on offering it. Typically, we get an email in December saying, "Hey, does your WSO want to be a part of this again? And if so, what is your commitment?" So I'm assuming that's going to happen again because this was kind of done in partnership with them. And we certainly still plan to do the youth and junior scholarship. That's something independent to our WSO, where we help support young athletes and their families who are going to those or to the national championships. And yeah, that's really it for the scholarship. So we plan on doing them. We plan on doing them.
Awesome. And that was, I think this year it's like applications opened on like January 1st. It was early in the year, right? I think.
Yeah. So I would like to keep to the same schedule because I think it just makes sense. On January 1st, both scholarships well, actually, the coaching scholarship will go throughout January. So January 1st to the 30th. And then in February, the board will review the applications and make a decision and vote on it. And then you'll be contacted if you're getting the scholarship or not. For the youth and junior, the I guess the registration period is open now. It kind of opens up when the registration for the next year opens. So whenever the registration for 2025 opened, I just don't update it on the website because no one's thinking about it at this moment, So that'll just be another thing where you are technically able to register for it right now. I don't think anyone's thinking about nationals next year at this point. So in January, in the newsletter and on the website, on the 1st, it'll also go live there, But if anybody was desperate and they emailed me, okay, cool. Here's the application. But I always just end up putting it up in January because I don't think anyone's thinking about nationals next year.
Totally fair. And I just you've answered all of the questions that I have gotten. And just FYI, registration has not opened for nationals yet. The qualification period is in effect, but yeah, like if you go to the event page on USA Weightlifting site, it says registration TDA. So
okay. I think that's what I meant. Whenever the qualification is. Actually, I have it right here. Let me open up the
They did just announce that for sure.
So let's see. I gotta we're getting to a time where I have to go through the entire website and update all the years. Okay, yeah. It says we will begin accepting applications when the 2025 National Championships qualifying period begins.
Okay, yeah.
So is the qualifying period
so
open?
Yes, you're right. Yeah, okay. It's usually like, a year, like almost like a month after the meet starts, and then up to a year, But so I'm sure the qualifying period has begun, but you don't have any registration information yet, or like, cost or anything. So yeah.
And look at this. Past James did not set future James up for success. The sentence actually reads, "We will begin accepting applications when the 2025 National Championships, when the qualifying period begins." There's an extra "when the" in there. Oh gosh. What a way to find out. So I'll have to fix that. I was reading it and I'm like, why am I struggling here for a second? I'm like, oh, there's an extra "when the." All right, forget it. It's canceled. The whole thing. Yeah, and I guess any other dates, we are going to be talking about as a board, just our schedule or timeline for the 2025 New York State Championships. It's still going to be the same weekend, last weekend of September, and it'll probably keep the same schedule. Early bird registration May 1st, for a month, and then in June, regular registration, and then in August, May and June, it's early bird. Yep, those 2 months, and then July and August, it's regular registration, and then August 31st is the last day to register in totality. So, yeah, we'll probably keep to the same schedule, but the work for next year is going to start soon. Unfortunately, there's not a lot to be done, but like all of the paperwork stuff. There's so much paperwork for a meet, Sarah. It's crazy. Just to get from A to B, to get to the point where like the meet is running, like there had to be an email and then a board meeting and like, is this what we're doing? And the dates and making sure the dates are all updated and the correct day of the week and stuff on the documents and all that. That's again, future James will deal with that. So yeah, keep your eye out for the scholarship stuff. It'll be definitely popping up in newsletters, and that's definitely something that we'll make a social media announcement too, and continue to talk about in a future podcast, no doubt.
Excellent.
Next on our agenda here, let me pull up the page. Where is it? Oh, I don't have the page pulled up. Go to news. And all right, now we have to do screen share. If the page will load. Okay. Present. Oh, we gotta select the window. Wow, so many steps. And allow. Okay. Can you see this?
Yes.
All right. So at the New York State Championships, our very own Jerry Dunne was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So that's
what a great picture.
Yeah, super exciting.
Jerry.
And this picture, it pretty much like sums up so many things because he's wearing his IWF tie. No doubt at whatever event this was, he was officiating and helping out, picking up plates, all that stuff. And I believe he is coaching right here. based on he's sitting next to a lifter and he has a pen and a little piece of paper, as most
Yeah.
coaches do. So, uh, congratulations, Jerry. He was inducted as a significant contributor. And I'll read what it says here on what a significant contributor is. We For some of these things in the Hall of Fame, we didn't really have a definition, I think, for it. So one kind of had to be created. I think first you need a definition to figure out who falls within the category, right? So a significant contributor is one who, throughout many decades, has been an example of a high standard of excellence, integrity, and leadership that coaches and technical officials should strive to achieve. It's someone who has a willingness to share knowledge and donate their time in the gym or at a local, national, and international events to benefit countless athletes in the pursuit of their dreams on the biggest competition platforms. Wisdom this person has passed on has produced high performance not only in the sport, but in life as well. And like it says there, Jerry Dunne is one such person that we all felt embodies this definition of a significant contributor. So we're glad to have Jerry to be a part of our organization and our community, and we're really, really happy to be able to celebrate him in this way.
Yes. Congratulations. I mean, amazing mentor and just, you know, great person. Love him.
Yep, all around
He's
great
actually
human being.
lifting at the New York City regional. So, you know, if anybody in the area wants to come cheer for him, it's gonna be awesome.
There we go. Yeah, and if you go onto our website and click news, this is a blog article that has been posted on the website. You can find a link to the full Hall of Fame and also watch the video of Jerry's induction. And I'll be linking
Love
that in
it.
the next newsletter too. It's on our YouTube page. It's definitely worth to watch. He had no idea this was coming, so this was a complete
Really?
surprise. Yeah, we didn't tell him that we were doing this. And I'll just click the Hall of Fame tab here on our website. If you go under the History tab, it's the fourth button down, Hall of Fame, and this just kind of shows you all the people throughout the years that have been inducted. It starts off with athletes, and if you click the underscored names, it'll take you to an article that Arthur Dreschler has written about the person. He was kind enough to supply us with a lot of those, and I believe a lot of the photos too. And if there is
Yeah.
someone on the list here that doesn't have a photo and you know who they are and where we can get a photo, that's really helpful too. Because there are some people such as Suzanne Kim. We don't have a photo or a write up, so we'd like to be able to put one up of her. Not everybody
Oh
has a
my
write up.
gosh, that photo of Artie is amazing. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even know where that came from. Who supplied that? Do you know? Did he?
It could. I don't know. He might have. It looks like the similar, quality of this Bruce Clemens photo over here
Oh,
for
yeah,
Jerry
yeah.
Hand.
Could.
But yeah, who knows? Black and white. There should be a resurgence of black and white photos. Don't they just look cool?
Yeah, they do.
Should go
Those are
vintage.
awesome.
And here we go. Contributors and administrators. And Jerry Dunn is the newest person added to the Hall of Fame. Up there with people like Morris Weisbrot, Dietrich Wortman, and the legendary Rudy Sablo. And if you're not sure who Rudy Sablo is, you should go to the website, click his name, and read all about this very influential person in not only New York weightlifting history, but in USA weightlifting history, correct?
Yes, yes.
And yeah, it's a nice lengthy write up. So hopefully we'll get a write up about Jerry soon here. That's on the to do list.
Oh.
And we will have to get him on the podcast as well to talk
Oh,
about,
yes, let's do that.
yep, how does it feel to be in the Hall of Fame? This is a prestigious group. Can you remember who was the last person inducted before Jerry?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, even when you and I were like on the, and even, I mean, I was on the LWC list for you, but we did not do this stuff. I mean, I think that they would induct people at because there would always be the Metropolitan Championships, and it was always around the time when Artie would hold like a banquet for, I think it was like a strongman banquet. I think, I can't remember, but so I think they used to do this stuff in person more, and I was never around like when they were doing that, so I think it's been quite a while. So Jerry, yeah, that's quite an achievement because it has to at least have been 12 years, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I were to guess, maybe possibly the two newest would have been Danica Rue or Karen Marshall, mainly for the fact that they seem to be the youngest of the field here. And I know a lot of these
Yeah.
individuals are no longer with us as well. So my guess would be Danica Rue would be the latest to be inducted, but I could be
Safe
wrong.
bet. No, I think you're right.
So yeah, and then also we have the Masters wing of the Hall of Fame. This might need to be updated slightly with all things going on, but we did absorb at the time the USAW Masters Hall of Fame and the at the time IWF and Pan American Hall of Fames. That if you were in one of those, that qualifies you to be in our Masters wing. Where essentially we're pointing out that you are in those Hall of Fames and celebrating you that way. And a lot of these people are, in multiple Hall of Fames, like Murray Levin here, I think is in ours. So, but that was an addition we made in 2023, but this is the biggest one right here in the main Hall of Fame to induct a new person. Uh, Part of why wanted to do that was one, of course, to celebrate Jerry and celebrate people from our community, but also to bring some sort of relevance back to the Hall of Fame. Like if it's been 12 years since we've inducted anyone, and it's an unattainable thing to get in there. My fear is that the younger generations or the people who have started weightlifting in the last 12 years aren't going to care. And they're like, well, what's that thing? It means nothing to me. And it should mean something. It's our history. So we definitely got to keep it going and keep, adding to it. So I think there are a lot of
I
relevant
agree.
people.
And I mean, yeah, and like New York, especially, lots of weightlifting history takes place here. So it's super important. And I mean, I'm always happy to listen to stories. Art is the best, is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Good storyteller.
So check out the Hall of Fame, and congrats again, Jerry. Well deserved.
Yes.
I lost one of my tabs. So what we're going to do next is just a quick New York State Championships recap. So much went on. So I'm just going to get my original tab that I lost here back. And let me share my screen again. So if you're only listening, we are taking a look at some things on the website. Go to nywso.com and you can find these pages. Most of these are blog articles that we're going to take a look at. And there we go. Can you see this now? Record breakers?
Now I can. Yes.
Perfect. So a lot of records were broken at the state championships, 141 in total between state and state meet records. 29 of the records were state records and 112 were state meet records. And the difference between the two is that a state record is one that can be broken year round at a local NYWSO or a national or international competition. The state meet record can only be broken once a year at the actual event, the New York State Championships. So two different sets of records. There were plenty of people who had the not the trifecta. I guess like they broke 3 state records and 3 state meet records, consecutively with their performances. So definitely check out the state records by going to the website under the events tab. There is a link for state records, and I'll click it here. When you go there, it gives you an explanation. You can see the current records, you can see the meet records, you can also see archived records that were from the era of 1998 to 2018 before a big weight class change. You can apply for a record, and I would encourage anyone that does a local meet or let's say one of the AOs or goes to nationals, check these records out and double check them again after the meet. You may have broken a record. That should be something that people regularly do. And, maybe you can even plan your performance around that. All right, I want to open a little heavier, and my goal for this meet is to break a record versus maybe you didn't even have a goal going into it. So hopefully this helps people set those goals and gear their training towards something if it's not already. And if I go back to that article, Maybe. There we go. Sometimes the internet doesn't want to cooperate. Oh no! All right, we hit the backspace too many times.
Too far.
Too far. All right, here we go. So on this article, it's also a documented record of who broke the record and who were the previous record holders. And if you've been following along for the last year, you'll notice anytime I post that a record's been broken, I also mention who the previous record holder was. I just think it's good to have some kind of a paper trail and to acknowledge the person that held the record. I believe last fall, Nadazde, am I saying her name correctly?
Nadia, yeah.
Nadia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nadia broke a record that was standing for 20 years in the snatch with a 91 kilo snatch, I think, at the AO2. And that was previously held by Danica Rue. So I think it's cool to mention those things. Like, that's not only is a big accomplishment to break that record, but that record was standing for quite some time. Many of people have started and exited weightlifting in that time. So to draw attention to that, children have been born and gone to college and joined the workforce in the time that record was standing. So it's just cool to bring those things to light. So I went through everything and recorded everything. So you can go through, and the first section is state records. So these are the big ones that can be broken annually, broken down by class. So you can see not many of them were broken. And then after that, we go into the state meet records. And this is, just lets you know who held it before and who the current record owner is for everything listed on the bullets. And I think it's cool too, Sarah. Like, if you found out your record was broken, you might try to come back and take it back, right?
Oh, for sure.
But if you don't know it was broken and it wasn't announced, then you're never going to know unless you check it regularly. But I don't know how many people like covet their record so often that they check once a month or once a quarter. Like, let me go see if I still have that record. I feel like that's the thing you do when you're just like reminiscing with someone at the gym, right?
Kind of. I mean, I will say, Kurt has fostered a very competitive community at Murder of Crows, and I do know that they are very actively checking that stuff out. So
okay,
I'm feeling Gruden probably is too.
That's good. That's good. That's it. Everybody should be doing that for sure.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with the records. Another record-breaking year. Let me change the tab here. State champions. The state champions listing has been updated for 2024 on our website. If you notice right here, you can click any of these red hyperlinks to see who the state champions were at a previous year. So I just clicked 2023, and it'll let you know in what division they were in, what they snatched, clean jerked, and totaled, their Sinclair, and also their weight class. So if you're like, I wonder who the state champion was from 2022, you can find that here. And I still have a little more work to go on this to make sure every page you can click all the years on every page. If you notice on 2023, there's no way to get to another year. You just have to kind of click back. But yeah, so this has been updated. This was the easiest year to update it because I did it all on Excel and just uploaded it into Wix instead of trying to edit the Wix template line by line, which is a pain in previous years. So
nice.
That is all set. And on the blog, there was a thank you post put up that kind of just outlines, who did what throughout the event, thanking coaches, athletes, technical officials. There's Marlon right there, our official TO dog. Letting you know who all the officials were. There's a lot of photos in here of volunteers helping out. And it's like, whenever you're at a meet, I'd encourage everybody to thank the volunteers, thank the loaders, the referees. They're there out of the goodness of their heart to help you, to give you the ability to go out onto the platform. So it's always good just to thank those people. The marshals, they're sitting in the chair and, most of the time they're not getting paid. And they're just there because they like to do it and they want to help you. So always good to do that and thank people. There's our
Right
storage unit
on.
with all the wood. Look at all that wood. Over 40 sheets of plywood, and as you can see, we just fit it in there. So this is a 5x10 storage closet. We may need to get a bigger one next year because getting it out of there
I'm
is going to be a
impressed.
pain. But yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty good. Wow.
Yeah, it fit, and there's the podium right behind Joe there. The TVs are there, and the banners and stuff. Those banner stands you can see in the lower left-hand corner are propped up right. And the nice thing is it's all in Binghamton now. So even if it is a pain in the butt to get out of that storage locker, you just need a couple big, strong people to help get it out of there. And the hotel's 10 minutes away down the road. That's a lot better than Poughkeepsie in New York and having to get a truck and, get up to the crack of dawn and get it all out there. So that's going to help for next year
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, there's us.
There's us.
Behind the command center. Gosh, I love that command center. It was so cool. Like it was
Me
like a
too.
tunnel. You could just get to both
It was great.
platforms back and forth, both warm-up areas. I miss the
Yeah,
command.
I'd be sitting there like numbering the cards, and it was cool because like I could just like lean back a little bit, and I could see Alyssa lifting, and then I look over, and then somebody else is lifting over here. It was cool.
Yeah, like it was super cool. You could just see everything, and it was easy for people to get to you or me, like all right, I'm in one central location. If you need me, here's where I'll be.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
worked out well.
It was
And I love
great.
those banners too. You see the WSO banner in the background. We went with fabric banners this time. Oh, it's so much better.
Wait, what
So
were they
much better.
before?
Vinyl. So they're like this
Oh,
plastic
yeah. Yeah.
vinyl, which like it
Yeah.
holds like the fabric's wrinkle free and folds up like a flag, and you just chuck it in your back seat. The big vinyl banner, you got to have a tube, and it's 12 feet long. And if you fold it, now you're going to have a permanent crinkle in your banner. Such a pain in the butt. Like I'm so
Yeah.
happy they have these fabric banners now. So yes,
Smart move.
thank you again,
Worth it.
everybody. Thank you, Sarah, for coming and helping out.
Yeah. Good time as always. That was great to see everybody.
I will go back just to show everybody this real quick. If you go under meet results on our website, you can, and also on the state champions page, there's the meet results, but you can click the link and it will show you the spreadsheet that has, where everybody placed, where everybody snatch and clean and jerk. So that has also been uploaded. The results were uploaded to the USA Weightlifting's bars website. So if you needed it to qualify for anything, it's already all set. And I'll just encourage people to check everything. As you can see, this is a massive amount of data, all 141 records, plus who were the previous record holders, all the state champions, the results, the bars, everything, who volunteered here. I had it all written down and also going off of memory and what other people remembered. So if I left your name out, nothing personal, just say, oh yeah, hey, I refereed. I'll add you to the thing. If your results are incorrect somewheres, just let me know and I'll change it. It's just a lot of numbers, and like I was chained the week after states. I was chained to a laptop for several days. And then even when I came back from a trip, I went to California during that time too. I
Yes.
was still had stuff to do. Just the computer work never ends. So, but I think it's important to document all this stuff and have it out there.
I do too. I appreciate you.
Big history person. And that's it. Yeah, I think that's everything on the old agenda here, right? Are we forgetting anything?
No, that was the end of it.
Cool. Well, that's our fall news. Remember, important dates: Sunday, November 17th at 7 p.m. general membership meeting. And if you can't make it to that meeting and you have a question or something you want discussed, you can always email to me and I'll bring it up at the end of the meeting in the PowerPoint presentation. Either way, the meeting will be recorded and uploaded to the YouTube channel, so you will be able to see it. I probably won't take. Actually, I guess I could take the audio and upload that to Spotify. Maybe I'll do that. Again, note for future James. Figure that out. The North American Open Finals event, November 7th. You need to know that. That's regular registration ends, and then also late registration ends on the 21st. And double check to see if you're qualified, because you could be and you didn't even know. And the elections are going on, so vote. Get out and vote.
That's right.
For all of them. For all of them. The weightlifting one and also the other important one.
The real one.
There's a yeah, it's like, it's just funny that USAW is having an election at the same time that there's kind of like a historic election going on. It's funny. Both are historic in their own ways.
Yes, yes.
I want to see Mike Choi working at a McDonald's, handing out fries and stuff.
Oh. He'd do it. He would totally do it.
He would. Awesome. Well, Sara, anything else that we should mention before we say goodbye?
I'm good. It's like I feel like I'm entering a little bit of a lull now. There's like two very busy seasons in weightlifting for me, and it's usually like that spring period where it's like always around like the Arnold and Masters Nationals and the 80K regional, and then it's in the fall it's like state and then me AO2 and my meet and stuff, and it's like now I get a little bit of a lull before AO finals, so I'm happy for that. But yeah.
There we go. Awesome. All right. Well, Sara, thank you for coming on. Where can people follow you?
I'm Sarasota Rep on Instagram.
Sarasota Rep. I'm James A. McDermott on Instagram. Also follow New York Weightlifting on Instagram and visit the website, nywso.com. Those are our two main places outside of Spotify now and YouTube for making announcements and keeping people informed. And keep your eyes open for the November newsletter. No October newsletter. Once we got to like October 14th, I was like, well, all right, it's done. Because I wanted to have all the state championship stuff in there, and that paperwork wasn't done. So I was like, I'm just going to abandon the October newsletter. And plus, I'd also sent one more email to all the participants, and I'm like, this is already a lot of emails. So let's just get back on track in November and remind everybody of the awesome state championships and those things, and then move forward. So yes, there was not a October newsletter.
Totally fair.
Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Sara, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.